Get off the stage, Gary. We're going to start. Now look what you did. Okay, the koala quiz is timed. You'll have around 5 seconds to answer each question. Ready to have a crack? Let's begin. Alrighty. In 1967, which sitting Australian Prime Minister vanished while swimming at a beach, never to be found? Answer is Harold Holt. And us Aussies have a bunch of theories. Some say Chinese frogmen dragged him to a waiting submarine. Others say the CIA killed him. And there's even a theory that he faked his death to run away with a secret lover. Nowadays, it's just part of our slang. If you pull a Harold Holt, it means you've disappeared. So if someone slips out of a party without saying goodbye, then they've done a Harold Holt. Okay, which Australian reptile can breathe through its bottom to stay underwater for up to 21 days? Oh, bum breather. Answer is the Fitzroy River turtle. So what this guy does is absorb oxygen from the water through its pooper valve, and this allows it to stay underwater for days at a time without coming up for air. Crikey, I think I'd rather just come up more often. Now make sure you keep score and don't go cheating. We'll compare in the comments. Okay, alright, here we go. In what year were women given the right to vote across all of Australia? Answer is 1902. And the act was a result of decades of peaceful but very persistent campaigning by women like Louisa Dawson and Mary Lee and Rose Scott, who organised petitions and rallies to prove women were capable of political thought. Oh gee whiz, how the times have changed. Today's episode of Just a Koala Show is brought to you by Rebecca. Thanks heaps, Beck. Okay, true or false? More than 80% of Australian animals are unique to this continent and found nowhere else. Answer is true. Most Aussie mammals, reptiles and frogs are unique to this great southern land we call Australia. Okay, in Australia, if someone has spat the dummy, what have they done? Answer is lost their temper. It's a hissy fit, and us Aussies use it to take the mickey out of someone who's overacting to a minor inconvenience. Just like when Gary the echidna stormed off set because we didn't have his favourite donuts in the green room. Roo told me he spat the dummy and went back to his burrow. Okay, here's a true or false. The Daintree rainforest is the oldest living rainforest in the world. Oh yeah, that's true. It's around 180 million years old. When the T-Rex was roaming the earth, the Daintree pretty much looked like it does today. Oh, I think he's looking at me. Mummy, he's looking at me. Okay, the platypus is weird enough, but only the males have a secret weapon. What is it? Answer is a venomous spur. And it's powerful enough to kill a dog, but they don't use it for defence or hunting. They use them to fight each other over mating rights and territory. Can you imagine how these guys fight? I mean, they have duck feet and duck hands. It's ridiculous. Alrighty, what is the name of the world's largest groundwater source, located beneath almost a quarter of the Australian continent? Answer is the Great Artesian Basin. And how's this? Some of the water found in the centre of the basin is more than 1 million years old. Oh, does that make it fresh or stale? Today's episode of Just a Koala Show is brought to you by Adam. Thanks heaps, Ads. Okay, during the official opening of the Sydney Harbour Bridge in 1932, who unexpectedly rode up on a horse and slashed the ribbon with his sword before the state premier could? Answer is Francis de Groot. Oh, gee whiz. Imagine spending 9 years building a bridge only for one guy to come along and steal the grand opening. De Groot got his comeuppance though. The coppers dragged him off his horse and sent him straight to a lunatic asylum. And then they tied the ribbon back together and let the Prime Minister cut it again, like nothing happened. Okay, in Australia, what is an ankle biter? Answer is a small child. We also call them grommets, billy lids, which is rhyming slang for kids, even curtain climbers, but it's all with affection. Today's episode of Just a Koala Show is brought to you by Lynette. Thanks heaps, Lynn. Alrighty, who is Australia's longest serving Prime Minister, holding the office for a total of 18 years? Answer is Sir Robert Menzies. And all I can remember about Menzies is his unbelievably thick and expressive eyebrows. They were beautiful, and he was fully aware of them too. He'd use them like The Rock does. He'd raise one eyebrow to signal scepticism, or lower both to show grave concern. Okay, in Australia, what are you doing if you're having a sticky beak? Answer is having a look. I think this one is rhyming slang for peek. So rather than saying, "Oh darling, I may have a peek in that store," we say, "Oh hey darl, I'm going for a sticky beak in that store." Okay, which tiny marsupial was thought to be extinct for 70 years until one was found in a ski lodge at Mount Buller in 1966? Answer is the mountain pygmy possum. Very cute little guys, weighing about the same as an apple, and the only Aussie marsupial to do a true long-term hibernation. They spend up to 7 months asleep. Gee, that's what I call a good nap. Okay, which large pink-coloured lake is located in Western Australia? Answer is Lake Hillier, famous for its bubblegum pink water. And unlike other pink lakes that change their hue willy-nilly, Lake Hillier stays that vibrant bubblegum pink colour all year round. Even if you put the water in a glass, it'll stay pink. Oh, someone should do a whole swimming pool. Now make sure you keep score and don't go cheating. We'll compare in the comments. Okay, before the name Great White was popularised by the 80s movie Jaws, what were these sharks called in Australia? Answer is white pointers. Now they're not Aussie, but they are world-class travellers and they've set up nurseries here. One great white, nicknamed Nicole, after Nicole Kidman, was tracked swimming from South Africa to Western Australia, and she did it in just 99 days. Crikey, that's 11,000 kilometres, about 7,000 miles for the American. She must have been going flat knacker. Today's episode of Just a Koala Show is brought to you by Finn. Thanks heaps, Finny. Alrighty, here we go. In what year did the Sydney Harbour Bridge officially open? Answer is 1932. And here's a fun fact. 3 days before the opening, 52,000 school kids were invited to walk the bridge for a Children's Day celebration. Oh, that's nice. And one of the kids, an 8-year-old, was selected to climb to the very top, without a safety harness, mind you. Also, the media could get a shot. It's 134 metres. That's 435 feet for the Americans. He made it alright though, and when he finally got to the top, he said, "Hey, they look like ants down there," pointing to his schoolmates. Okay, what is the name of the world's oldest continuously surviving tropical rainforest located in Queensland? Answer is the Daintree Rainforest, and it's home to Aussie animals that won't be found anywhere else, like musky rat kangaroo. Now this little guy is the smallest of all the kangaroos, and it weighs only 500 grams. It's the same size as a guinea pig. Alrighty, okay. What is a puggle in Australia? Answer is a baby echidna, or platypus. And how's this? Echidna milk is so incredibly high in iron that it's pink. Oh, just like a strawberry milkshake. Okay, what is the name of Australia's largest cattle station? Bigger than some small countries. Answer is Anna Creek Station. It's over 7 times larger than the King Ranch in Texas, which is America's biggest ranch. Crikey, it's the same size as New Jersey, but how's this crazy fact-checked fact? The station only employs a core staff of up to 11 people. Wow, man, that's a lean business. Hang on, why do I smell cow? What's going on here? Okay. Which Australian Prime Minister helped found 3 political parties and was remarkably expelled from all of them? Answer is Billy Hughes. And Billy was all over the shop. He is the only Aussie to serve as Prime Minister while leading both the Labor and a non-Labor government, completing the world-breaking transformation from political union leader to the head of Australia's Conservative force. He once famously said, "Those who think like me, follow me." Gee, I like that. Might put her on a t-shirt. Today's episode of Just a Koala Show is brought to you by Kylie. Thanks heaps, Kai. Okay, in Australia, if you order a snot block at a bakery, what are you going to get? Answer is a vanilla slice. Oh, they're my favourite. Now, the vanilla slice is a direct descendant from the, here we go, millefleur. That's French. Anyway, the French version has 3 dainty layers of pastry and then cream. But us Aussies made it same different and toughened it up a bit. So we do 2 layers of pastry, but it's thick pastry. Then, instead of cream, we do a firm block of vanilla custard. I think the Americans call that pudding. Anyway, if you're down under, put one in your cake hole. Okay, true or false? The Great Barrier Reef is a single, massive, continuous coral structure. Answer is false. The Great Barrier Reef is a complex system made up of around 3,000 reefs and 900 islands. So it's big, slightly bigger than Italy and almost the same size as Montana. It's our planet's largest living structure and can be seen clearly by astronauts in space. Oh, what a sight that would be. Alrighty, here's a true or false. The Australian Alps receive more snow than the Swiss Alps. Answer is true. Very, very true. The Australian Alps stretch across New South Wales, Victoria and the ACT, and on average get more snow each year than the entire country of Switzerland. Okay, saltwater crocodiles are often seen resting with their mouths wide open on the riverbanks. What's the name of this behaviour? Answer is gaping. Oh, it's the terrifying pose where they sit perfectly still with their massive jaws wide open. Looks like they're waiting for a snack just to walk right in. But it's actually a clever bit of biological engineering. You see, they do it to regulate body temperature. So on a scorching Aussie day, a croc will gape to let the breeze cool the blood in its mouth, which then circulates and cools the rest of its body. Oh, it's built-in gross-as air conditioning. Now make sure you keep score and don't go cheating. We'll compare in the comments. Alrighty, what was the first feature-length film ever made in the world? Produced in Melbourne, 1906. Answer is The Story of the Kelly Gang. Yeah, we love Ned Kelly down under. And how's this? That film faced official censorship because authorities thought it glorified criminal behaviour and made heroes out of outlaws. Oh yeah, how'd that band work out for you? Today's episode of Just a Koala Show is brought to you by Malcolm. Thanks heaps, Macca. Okay, down under, if you say someone is a few sandwiches short of a picnic, what does it mean? Answer is, they're dim-witted. You could also say they're a few bricks short of a load, or not the full quid, or even a few chops short of a barbie. It's all in fun, mind you. Alrighty, which Australian state is nicknamed the Sunshine State? Answer is Queensland. And the phrase began appearing in tourism promotions as far back as the 50s to try and lure southerners up for the winter. But now, that sunshine brings in people from all over the world. Surfers Paradise alone has 4 million visitors every year. Alrighty, who was Australia's first female Prime Minister? Answer is Julia Gillard. And Jules and I share a love for that show Game of Thrones. She was such a fan, she even tweeted twice in Dothraki. And the bloke who created the language was so impressed and said that she used the grammar correctly. Well, yeah, sure, you'd think if she can run a country, she can use the correct grammar, even if it is Dothraki. Okay, here we go. The cassowary is a large, flightless bird and is considered to be one of the most dangerous in the world. How fast do you think it can run? The answer is 50 k's an hour. That's 30 miles an hour for the American viewer. They can also jump 2 metres high, again 6.5 foot for the Americans, and they have dagger-like claws that can shred you in seconds. Oh, I can feel it. Oh no, mummy, it's behind me, isn't it? Now make sure you keep score and don't go cheating. We'll compare in the comments. Okay, in Australia, cotton candy is known by what sweeter name? Answer is fairy floss. Oh, isn't that better? There are lots of these. We say jam, the Americans say jelly. We say tomato sauce, Americans say ketchup. Oh, gee whiz, where does the word ketchup come from? That's a weird one. Today's episode of Just a Koala Show is brought to you by Lewis. Thanks heaps, Louie. Okay, how many standard time zones does mainland Australia have? Answer is 3, but if you said 5, you're also right. Australia's states split up for daylight savings in the summer, and how South Australia and Northern Territory, they do a 30-minute offset rather than the full hour, because half wanted to do an hour and half didn't want to do any. So they did 50-50 splitsies. Alrighty, in Australia, if something has carked it, what's happened? Answer is, it died, or broke. Us Aussies mainly use it for objects like, oh, the toaster is stuffed and I think it's carked it. But it transfers to anything, like, hey Dal, has the spider in the toilet carked it yet? Alrighty, what is the most northern point of the Australian mainland? Answer is Cape York, in Queensland. She's one of the last great untouched wilderness areas on Earth, and it's big bad croc territory for sure. Home of the world's largest saltwater crocodiles. So, if you're visiting the Cape, you got to assume every bit of water has a massive crocodile in it. If it's wet and deep, there's a salty there, waiting to eat you. Okay, what is the name for the world's most dangerous ant? Found in Australia, of course. Answer is the bulldog ant. And these blokes are huge compared to US ants. They can grow up to 40 millimetres long. That's about 1.5 inches for the American viewer. And their venom is fair dinkum potent. It can cause fatal anaphylactic shock. Okay, who was the first European explorer to officially reach the Australian mainland in 1606, over 160 years before Captain Cook? Answer is the Dutch explorer Willem Johansen. Oh, how's that? I did it. I think I got it. And when Jansen landed in far north Queensland, he actually thought he was still on the southern coast of New Guinea. He didn't even realise he'd found a new continent. Oh, I love it when that happens. Oh, this one's a classic. Which former Australian Prime Minister famously set a world record for drinking a yard glass of beer, that's approximately 2.5 pints, in 11 seconds? Answer is Bob Hawke. Yeah, you'd say Bob was a man of the people, alright. A true Aussie larrikin. Okay, in Australia, before 1902, what common beach activity was actually illegal during the day? Answer is swimming. The ban was based on Victoria-era standard of morality and public decency, and it was considered scandalous to be seen in public wearing little or no clothing required for swimming. Crikey, what do you reckon they'd say about the micro bikinis worn at Bondi today? Alrighty, What is the name of the spike-covered, egg-laying mammal that has no nipples but feeds its young on pink milk that oozes from its skin? Answer is the echidna. And how's this? During the breeding season, a sassy female echidna will be followed by a line of up to 10 hopeful males in what we call the Aussie love train. And it can last for 6 weeks. It's one of nature's slowest courtship rituals. We should have been playing the Barry White music for this one. Today's episode of Just a Koala Show is brought to you by Helen. Thanks heaps, Helly. Alrighty, down under, what is hard yakka a slang term for? Answer is hard work. And I'm not talking hard work sitting in an office all day. No, this is done by shearers, miners and labourers. Tough as guts Aussies doing real hard yakka. Okay, what event on the surface of the sun creates the solar wind that triggers the aurora australis? Answer is solar flares. So if you've seen the northern lights over Alaska or Iceland, it's the exact same light show. It's just happening at the bottom of the world instead of the top. Same difference. Who is Australia's official head of state? The head honcho. Answer is the British King. And that would be His Majesty King Charles III. It's all a bit weird having a king. Most Aussies can't relate to that. I mean, we're not living in a realm, and I can't see any dragons around. But hey, can I keep this hat? Okay. When the platypus was first sent to England, what did the British scientists think it was? Answer is, they thought it was a hoax. Yeah, that tracks. So when the platypus arrived at the British Museum in 1799, they thought a prankster had stitched together parts from different animals. You know, the bill of a duck, body of an otter, webbed feet like a waterfowl, and the tail of a beaver. Even after confirming it wasn't a hoax, these scientist geniuses spent nearly 100 years debating whether it was a mammal, reptile or bird before finally classifying it as an egg-laying mammal. Geniuses. Now make sure you keep score and don't go cheating. We'll compare in the comments. Okay, what common Australian bird is nicknamed the Bushman's Clock because of its regular call at dawn and dusk? Answer is the kookaburra. They're the largest members of the kingfisher family. But unlike most kingfishers, they don't bother eating fish. Instead, they prefer mice, lizards and snakes. And when they catch something really big, they'll tenderise it by smashing it against a rock until the bones are all mushed, making it easy to swallow whole. Oh yeah, why wouldn't you? Today's episode of Just a Koala Show is brought to you by Cruise. Thanks heaps, Cruisy. Okay, in Australia, what are you wearing if you have on budgie smugglers? Answer is men's Speedos. Now I won't go into the reason why, but if you know, you know. And it's funny as. Okay, the Sydney Opera House roof is covered in over 1 million tiles. What fruit did the architect say inspired its unique design? Answer is an orange. Oh yeah, I can see orange slices, that tracks. And how's this? They are self-cleaning tiles because of their smooth glaze. Oh, lovely. Glazed oranges. Okay, the first Australian police force was made up of what unexpected group of people? Answer is well-behaved convicts. Crikey, I mean fair dinkum. What do you reckon the difference is between being well-behaved and not being caught for a crime? Alrighty. What type of mining is the town of Koala famous for? Answer is opal mining. And opal mining is more than just an industry there. It's the reason the town exists. Koala produces about 80% of the world's opals. And how's this? The name Koala is derived from the Aboriginal term commonly translated as white man in a hole. Yeah, that'd be right. They tell it like it is. Now make sure you keep score and don't go cheating. We'll compare in the comments. Okay, what animal was introduced down under in 1935 to control sugarcane beetles, but became a massive pest in itself? Answer is the cane toad. Oh, these guys are horrible. Fair dinkum, and they're as ugly as a bucket of busted spanners. But the real problem is they're highly toxic, inside and out. So when Aussie predators, like my mates the quolls, crocs and lizards eat them, they up and cark it. And we've tried to get rid of them, but a toad lays up to 30,000 eggs at a time. Oh, it's impossible. Today's episode of Just a Koala Show is brought to you by Joanne. Gee, thanks heaps, Joe. Okay, Frank Ford was Australia's shortest serving Prime Minister. How long did he have the top job for? Answer is only 8 days. Well, you see, Frank Ford was the Deputy Prime Minister when John Curtin died, so was appointed in a caretaker capacity. And despite being beaten comfortably in the vote a week later, he was such a good bloke that he was immediately re-elected as Deputy Prime Minister again, unopposed. And he spent the next day helping the new PM move into his 8-day-old office. Okay, if an Aussie asks you to chuck a Yui, what do they want you to do? Answer is, make a U-turn while driving. Crikey, us Aussies can't understand why the rest of the world doesn't word shorten. It's verbal shorthand. Alrighty, which Aussie actor played Wolverine in the X-Men film series? Answer is Hugh Jackman. What a great Aussie, taking on the world with a good sense of humour and a pretty face. We're a lot alike, Hugh and I. Okay, here we go. Which Australian island is famous for its population of wild Tasmanian devils? Answer is Tasmania. Yeah, I think we gave that one away in the question. I mean, they're called the Tasmanian Devils, so they're not going to be found on a Queensland island. Who wrote these? Now make sure you keep score and don't go cheating. We'll compare in the comments. Okay, here's a true or false. There are more camels in the Australian wild than in Egypt. Answer is true. Australia has the world's only feral camel herd. It's huge. And here's a story. A human mate of mine claims his great uncle is the only person to ever be shot by his own camel. Apparently, the camel stepped on the guy's gun and it went off, killing the bloke. Today's episode of Just a Koala Show is brought to you by Caroline. Thanks, Caro. Okay, in what year did the Australia Act officially come into effect, finally severing the last of our legislative and judicial ties to the British Parliament? Answer is 1986. Oh gee, that's only 40 years ago. And I'm told the proclamation was signed down under and in person by Queen Elizabeth II. And I suppose for her, it was like watching one of her kids grow up and leave home. A sad but proud moment, I'm sure. Okay, what does an Aussie want if they ask you for a piece of chewy? Answer is, they would like a piece of chewing gum, please. I can't believe the rest of the world haven't cottoned on to shortening words. Us Aussies couldn't talk any other way. Okay, which Aussie actress is the star of the 2023 Barbie movie? Answer is Margot Robbie. And our Margot is a woman of many talents. She even taught herself tattooing. And while filming The Suicide Squad, gave the cast and crew tats. She spelt one wrong though. I guess that makes it extra special. Okay, how many hours do koalas sleep each day? Oh, that's a bit personal, isn't it? Answer is, 18 to 22 hours. Yeah, I like a good nap. But that's only because I eat gum leaves and they have almost no calories or energy. Just enough for me to get out of bed and record this show. Now make sure you keep score and don't go cheating. We'll compare in the comments. Okay, Who was the most famous inmate of the old Melbourne jail? Answer is Ned Kelly, the Aussie bushranger who led the Kelly gang. Now if you're wondering why us Aussies love him so much, it's because the gang robbed banks and burnt people's mortgage deeds. It was kind of like the Oprah show. You get a house, and you get a house. He was caught after the shootout at Glen Rowan, where the gang wore homemade bulletproof iron armour. Whoa, how cool is that? Today's episode of Just a Koala Show is brought to you by James. Gee, thanks Jimmy. Okay, if an Aussie tells you to bring a cozzy, what should you pack? Answer is a bathing suit. Cozzy is just short for swimming costume. And don't us Aussies love shortening words? Our relatives are rellos, our journalists are journos, and on Christmas we don't give presents, we give prezzies. Alrighty, what is the nickname of the Australian men's basketball team? Answer is the Boomers. Now the name Boomer is slang for a big kangaroo, and it was chosen by a national competition in the 1970s. I guess us koalas aren't known for our jumping ability, so we didn't make the cut. Oh, well that's not fair. I can leap a good ½ inch off the ground. Okay, here we go. Who was the first Prime Minister of Australia? Answer is Edmund Barton. He was nicknamed Toby Tosspot because of his love of food, wine and an indulgent social life. Oh, that makes sense. He set the standard for us Aussies right at the start. Alrighty, here we go. What is the name of the indigenous throwing tool designed to return back to the thrower? Answer is a boomerang. And the First Nations people used them for hunting, digging, starting fires, as musical clapsticks, even knives. It's the bush equivalent to a Swiss Army knife. Now make sure you keep score and don't go cheating. We'll compare in the comments. Alrighty, what is the name of the flightless bird that is the second largest in the world after the ostrich? Answer is the emu. And here's a story that could only come out of Australia. In 1932, the Australian military, yes people, the military, actually declared war on emus because they were destroying crops. This is real, folks. The soldiers, armed with machine guns, were deployed, but the emus were so fast and crafty that they dodged most of the bullets. Oh, it's just like the Matrix. The military eventually surrendered, making the emus the official victors of the Great Emu War. Today's episode of Just a Koala Show is brought to you by Karen. Gee, thanks heaps, Kazza. Okay, here we go. What year did the Eureka Stockade Rebellion take place? Answer is 1854. And the rebelling miners made an oath that goes like this. We swear by the Southern Cross to stand truly by each other and fight to defend our rights and liberties. And dear viewer, that's exactly what those miners did. I love the story of Eureka Stockade. Alrighty, in which Aussie city would you find the world famous Bondi Beach? Answer is Sydney. I lived in Sydney for about 10 years. Bondi Beach was my hangout. And here's something of note. Bondi was actually formed by an ancient volcano eruption, and because of its unique geological history, it is one of the few south-facing beaches in the world, which is why it gets constant powerful surf and killer rips. You won't see a sunset though. Okay, what is the name of the world's largest species of crocodile found in northern Australia? Answer is the saltwater crocodile, and we call them salties. Now these monsters are the biggest reptiles on the planet. A male salty can grow to over 6 metres long. That's 20 feet for the American viewer, and they can weigh as much as a large ute. Or a truck for the American viewer. Gee, what language am I speaking here? Alrighty, which Australian city is the sporting capital of the world? Answer is Melbourne. And I was going to list all the events, but there's just way too many. We'd be here for an hour. Let's just say if you like watching sport in world-class venues, go to Melbourne. Okay, who is the king of country in Australia? Famous for the song A Pub With No Beer. Answer is Slim Dusty. And how's this? Slim was the first artist in the entire world to record and release 100 albums. Crikey, 100? He's also the first singer in the world to have his voice beamed to Earth from space when astronauts on the Space Shuttle Columbia played his rendition of Waltzing Matilda as a tribute to Australia while the shuttle passed over us. Oh, isn't that nice? Today's episode of Just a Koala Show is brought to you by Ronald. Thanks, Ronnie. Okay, here's a true or false. Australia is approximately the same size as the lower 48 states of the USA. Answer is true. Fair income. And while they're the same size, the lower 48 states of America have about 330 million people living in it, while Australia has only 26 million. That means if you live down under, you'll have about 12 times more personal space. Perfect for when you're social distancing from a spider the size of a dinner plate. Okay, what is the name of the famous Aussie wildlife expert who died in 2006? Answer is Steve Irwin. And fair income, mate. How good is Steve's wife and kids? They're doing great things for us animals. Okay. Before it became Melbourne, what name did it go by? Answer is Batmania. And apparently it's not after Batman, but after a guy called John Batman, who was the founder of Melbourne back in 1835. And this bloke famously said, "This will be a place for a village." A village? Ha! Melbourne has a population of 5.5 million. Now that's a big village. Okay, when did Australia become a nation in its own right? Answer is January 1st, 1901. And I reckon by lunchtime that day, we'd branded ourselves Aussies. Now make sure you keep score and don't go cheating. We'll compare in the comments. Okay, which famous Australian actress played Guthrie Earl in The Lord of the Rings and won 2 Oscars? Answer is Cate Blanchett. Gee, those movies are my favourites. I'll love anything set in a realm with kings, dragons and magic swords. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a wizard when I grew up. Today's episode of Just a Koala Show is brought to you by Beverly. Thanks heaps, Bev. Okay, here we go. In Australia, what is bush tucker? Answer is food, native to Australia. Tucker is just another name for food. So bush tucker is what you eat when you're nowhere near a supermarket. And I'm talking munching down on native plants and grubs. Yeah, welcome to my world, people. Okay, here's a true or false. Australia has won more Cricket World Cups than any other country. Answer is true. And us Aussies love our cricket, especially backyard cricket. And that's where we set up stumps and try and smash the ball into the house next door. Oh yeah, sorry about that, Mrs. Walters. Oh, I like this one. A male wombat is called a jack. A female is called a Jill. What is a herd of wombats called? Answer is a wisdom of wombats. Now, that term gained popularity for its iconic charm. Yeah, duh. You see, wombats are famously stubborn and can be quite thick, so calling a group wise is a playful nod to their blunt but determined nature. I should also mention that you'll never see a wisdom of wombats because they're very unsocial guys and never hang out in groups. Alrighty, if an Aussie calls you fair income, what are they saying? Answer is, they reckon you're genuine, true and honest. We use it the same way Americans use Scout's honour, as in, fair income mate, Shirley fell out of a tree, hit the ground, bounced back up and landed back on the same branch. Now make sure you keep score and don't go cheating. We'll compare in the comments. Alrighty, which iconic beach was home to Australia's first lifesaving club in 1907? Answer is Bondi Beach. And us Aussies know you need lifesavers there. That rip should have its own name. In summer, lifeguards can rescue around 50 people a day. Gee, swim between the flags, people. Alrighty, Australia has more species of what type of reptile than any other continent? Answer is lizards. And down under, we have the most amazing lizards, like the thorny devil or the great giant parenti. But how good is the blue-tongued lizard? When these guys get scared, they stick out their bright blue tongue to startle a predator. You see, in the animal kingdom, bright blue usually means I'm incredibly toxic. Yeah, no kidding. But here's the kicker, it's a total lie. They aren't poisonous at all, but it's a great ruse and enough to make a kookaburra think twice. Today's episode of Just a Koala Show is brought to you by Michael. Thanks, Mick. Alrighty, which famous beach in Queensland is renowned for its stunning 98% pure white silica sand and crystal clear turquoise water? Answer is Whitehaven Beach, and there's no surprise that it's one of the most photographed locations in Australia. The white sand and blue water make swirling patterns, creating a living work of art that changes with the tide. Oh, how sensational. Okay, which Australian female swimmer won the 100 metre freestyle at 3 consecutive Olympic Games? 1956, 60 and 64. Answer is Dawn Fraser. Oh, and don't us Aussies love Dawn? She represents the Aussie larrikin spirit like she invented it. Alrighty, in Australia, what is a lamington? Answer, a square piece of cake. Oh, and I love a jam lammy. So you get sponge cake, you cut it in half and spread jam on it, jelly for the American viewer. Then you put it back together, dip the whole thing in chocolate and then roll it in coconut. You serve it in small squares. Alrighty, what is the most easterly point of the Australian mainland? Answer is Cape Byron, Byron Bay. My mum lives there and gee, I loved going to Byron as a kid. I'd get a summer job and then spend it all at the pinball arcade. Good times. Alrighty, which tiny Aussie octopus carries enough venom to kill 26 adult humans within minutes? Answer is the blue ring octopus. Gee whiz guys, it's these kind of questions that freak out the tourists. But I will say, if you're having a swim in the drink and you see flashes of iridescent blue glowing rings, it's already too late. You're standing way too close and you're probably gonna die. You see, the only treatment is continuous CPR or getting hooked up to a ventilator until your body flushes the toxin out. Or, death. Enjoy your swim. Okay, which Aussie state is famous for its world-class wineries and the city of Adelaide? Answer is South Australia. Yeah, SA produces about half of all Aussie wines. The Barossa Valley, McLaren Vale and the Clare Valley are legendary for their Shiraz and Riesling. Just another example of Aussies punching above their weight. Okay, which Aussie scientist led the team that turned penicillin into a life-saving medicine? Answer is Howard Florey. What a genius! We even had him on our $50 note. It was yellow, orange and gold, but us Aussies knew it as a pineapple. As a youngster, there was nothing better than heading out for a night on the town with a couple of pineapples in your wallet. Okay, true or false? There's a member of the kangaroo family that lives in the rainforest and can actually climb trees. Answer is true. It's the tree kangaroo. And they look like a kangaroo crossed with a bear. And how's this? They can leap 18 metres, or 60 feet for the American viewer, down from a branch to the forest floor without getting a scratch on them. Gee, I wouldn't want to be underneath one. Imagine 15 kilos of roo landing on your noggin. Alrighty, in which month does the famous Sydney to Hobart yacht race begin? Answer is December, Boxing Day to be exact. Now this race is not for the faint-hearted. The Bass Strait is rough as guts, and it's a non-negotiable tradition for crews to head straight to the pub for a beer the moment they step off the boat. Not in celebration, you see, but to take a moment to acknowledge the fact that they survived the thing. Now make sure you keep score and don't go cheating. We'll compare in the comments. Okay, what was the name of the ship that Captain Cook sailed while mapping Australia in 1770? Answer is Endeavour. And after returning to England, the Endeavour was sold to a private owner and renamed the Lord Sandwich. Oh, that's so funny. Sandwich? What, I suppose next you're going to tell me she sailed alongside the Grand Schnitzel. Today's episode of Just a Koala Show is brought to you by Sebastian. Thanks, Sebi. Okay, here we go. What is the name of the underground town in South Australia where people live in caves to escape the heat? Answer is Koopapedi. And you can't blame them for living in dugouts. The heat can soar past 45 degrees Celsius. That's 113 Fahrenheit for the American viewer. Now these geniuses carve out their homes directly into the hillsides, which keeps them at a perfect 23 degrees Celsius. That's 73 Fahrenheit. So if you're not tree bound like a koala, you can visit Koopapedi and stay in an underground hotel yourself. Won't that be nice? Okay, if an Aussie says they are flat out like a lizard drinking, what do they mean? Answer is, they're extremely busy. You see, us Aussies love a contradictory idiom. And when lizards drink, it's the exact opposite of busy. They just lay still, open their mouths, and their tongues soak up moisture. I don't know how I feel about that. Alrighty, what is the largest species of shark found in the Australian waters? Answer, the whale shark. And despite its name, they're sharks, not whales. But here's the good news, they're filter feeders and have no interest in eating people or koalas. They prefer plankton and krill, making them the gentle giants of the sea. Now isn't that nice? An Aussie creature that doesn't want to murder you. Alrighty. In what year did the Aussie flag rise as the official national banner? Answer is 1954. Now the flag design came from a competition and there were 32,823 entries. Gee, I wonder how many had a koala on them. I'd vote for that. Okay, here we go. Which body of water lies between Australia and Papua New Guinea? Answer, the Torres Strait. Now the strait is incredibly shallow, so navigating it is so treacherous that it's considered one of the world's most difficult shipping lanes. There are over 100 known shipwrecks resting on the sea floor there, which makes it a maritime museum under the waves. So bring your snorkel. Well, that's a funny word, isn't it? Snorkel. Today's episode of Just a Koala Show is sponsored by Gordon. Gee, thanks, Gordo. Alrighty. What natural rock formation in Tasmania looks like Mother Nature built a pipe organ for the wilderness? Answer is the organ pipes. They're towering vertical columns of dolerite and were formed 180 million years ago during the Jurassic period. It's also the most popular rock climbing destination in Tassie. And I reckon I could make the climb if I was strapped to Tom Cruise. Okay, which Aussie animal is known as the king of the bush? Answer is the kookaburra. Now the name comes from Aussie folklore. And they may say they're the king of the bush, but don't let that crown fool you. This king is a stone-cold snake killer. You see, what they do is swoop down and grab a snake by the neck. Then they smash the thing against a tree until it stops moving. Whoa, brutal, but yummy. Okay, what significant event happened in the town of Ballarat in 1854 involving gold miners? Answer is the Eureka Stockade. It's the only armed rebellion in Aussie history and it paved the way for democracy in our great country. Now make sure you keep score and don't go cheating. We'll compare in the comments. Okay, What is the nickname of the men's Australian national soccer team? Answer is the Socceroos. And here's a great yarn. The Socceroos are the only team in history to blame a 32-year-old World Cup drought on an unpaid Zimbabwean witch doctor's curse. Now apparently, that said curse wasn't lifted until a bloke performed a reverse curse ceremony on the pitch, paving the way for Aussie victories. Booga booga. Today's episode of Just a Koala Show is sponsored by Polly. Gee, thanks, Pol. Okay. Which Australian bird is famous for its ability to mimic almost any sound, including chainsaws and cameras, all sorts of things? Answer is the lyrebird. Have you seen that 80s flick Police Academy? Remember that bloke who made those sound effects with his mouth? Well, Steve-O, a lyrebird mate of mine, claims he coached that guy, and I believe him. Okay, don't stop, genius, you're almost there. And make sure to stay and see what's coming up. It's a rip snorter. Okay, what is the primary food source for a koala? Oh, I know this one. Answer is eucalyptus leaves. But us koalas are quite fussy on which type. You see, down under, there are over 800 gumtree species. Now, me and my mates will pick out just 2 or 3 in an area that we find particularly yummy. And then that's it. Every other gumtree is dead to us. Okay, now here are some questions from the viewers for me to answer. Oh, isn't this going to be fun? All right, here we go. Why do Australians call everyone mate, even people they don't like? Oh, the nuance of the word mate. It's a complex social code. Nah, just kidding. The word mate can be used just like an American would pal. So, it depends on how you say it. You can say, oh, can I offer you a beer, mate? Or, mate, that's a cracker of an idea. And you can also go the other way and say, hey, turkey, you just hit my car, mate. Or, mate, if you don't stop that, I'll rip your liver out. So you can see, it can go either way. Okay, next question from the audience. Do Australians really get 4 weeks of paid leave? Oh yeah, isn't it like that where you're from? Every year, us Aussies get a month of paid holidays, plus 10 days of sick leave, plus 12 or so public holidays for things like Easter, Christmas, Australia Day. Heck, in Melbourne there's a public holiday for a horse race. We take days off pretty serious down under. Coming up on the next episode of Just a Koala Show. Oh, what's it? Oh, that's cool, that's a dinosaur. Oh no, this isn't the right vision. Oh no, this is not the right vision, folks. Stop the tape. Alright, what did you score? Comment it below. And if you want another one, hit subscribe. And I'll see you in the next quiz.